So this is our first video of SS class 10th here we are going to do chapter number 9, forest and wildlife resources. Okay, so as this is the first video of SS, we are going to complete this chapter in part 2 in two parts. Let's start with the introduction of this chapter. The development and progress of a man is depend only on the resource. It means we are dependent only on the resource. We complete our work, our needs, our satisfy our wants by the help of resource only. So this is the second point. Now the third point is natural vegetation which grow without the help of man are called the virgin vegetation or natural vegetation. I hope that is clear to you all. There is not any type of help of human in that, so that is known as the virgin vegetation. Now I am presenting the notes to you all in this video. If you want to make like this, let me know in the comment box. I will make a full-fledged video on that also, how to make a notes on a notebook or on a tablet also. Let's go ahead with the types of forest. According to my sense of humor, you have the 2 marks of the question in the board about the forest administrative process or forest administrative types and ownership. Okay, so in previous year board paper also that question is asked, and from 2 year that is asking, so it may be asked for a last time in the 3rd year. So well prepare of this. So the reserved forest, which are the reserved forests? These forests are controlled by the government. There is a restriction of lumbering, collection of wood and grazing. What is lumbering? You might don't know that. Lumbering means human activity. That is, there is a ban on human activity. No one can enter in this forest and cannot harm the nature. So you might know that there is some restriction in the natural forest or in a national forest or bioreserves, etc. So that is a protection. They are made for a protection of forest only. Now the protected forest. What are the protected forests? These forests are looked by the administrative. The reserved forests are looked by the controlled by the government, and these are the controlled by the administration. Local people are allowed to graze their animal and collecting wood from the forest, but without harming the forest. That means the area has been set. For example, in your home, the borderline is set. You cannot do any type of work in the other's house. You can do anything in your house only. So there is a restriction on area. For example, this is the whole forest. And they are permitted only. They can do the human activity and forest cutting in this area only. They are not allowed to come in this area. The middle part is only for the wild animals. They cannot interfere in this. So that much of the freedom is given to the peoples of local people. Sorry students, local people who live in the forest only. This rule is for them only, not for us. Now unclassified forest. Here the cutting of tree and grazing are allowed because they are not founded. For example, here is a city, okay, and here is one forest, and this is unclassified. Okay, so here the lumbering, cutting of the tree, all the things are allowed because that is unclassified. If you cut the tree, then no one are going to know that you have cut the tree. So there is a allow on the grazing activity and cutting of the tree, on lumbering also. Now on the basis of ownership of the forest. Yes students, there is a on the basis of ownership topic is there also. State forest, communal forest and private forest. You have confused what is the private forest. We will also discuss about it, don't be worried. First of all, let's see about the state forest. What are the state forest? The forest controlled by the government or a government of state or a central government. Central government. Okay. So this is the forest which is the all the activities, the things which controlled by only state government. State government, not by any administration or it is controlled by the state government. So that are known as the first topic, state forest. And in state forest, the human activity, lumbering, grazing, then cutting of wood, etc. are not permitted. They are all the things are banned. Okay, let's start with the communal forest. What are the communal forest? So students, communal forests are those forests which are owned by the self local government. For example, gram panchayat, they are controlled by the gram panchayat or gram panchayat, for example. Then etc. all taluka panchayat or anything, the of a village or any district government own this type of forest. The control of district government are on the communal forest. And now let's quickly talk about the private forest. Private forests are owned by the particular man or a individual man, and they are in very bad condition as they are owned by a private man. So there is a not any type of rules and regulation in it. So they are used as the haphazardly, so they are in very bad condition. Now let's talk about the deforestation. What is deforestation? The deforestation of forest is the global problem. Not our only the country India, but the all the countries have to face this problem. And it is the destruction of the forest by the nature in compared to the human destruction is very small. Okay, by the disaster like flood, rainfall or earthquake, the forests which are destroyed, they are on very small scale, while the human use the forest on their individual benefits. For the individual benefits, they are used haphazardly and they are destroyed. Now let's see the impacts of deforestation. What will be happen if the deforestation take place? Now first of all, the level of the CO2, that means carbon dioxide, will increase in the nature, and the O2, that will be decreased in the nature. Greenhouse effect will increase. And soil will start eroding. What is soil erosion? Okay, let's quickly talk about that extra topic, soil erosion. When any soil particle, for example, this is the crust of a earth, and here is the sedimentation of the soil. And when the wind come, this all the particle will blow and away from that surface, so that surface become unfertile. So that is known as the soil erosion. So if the deforestation take place, then the soil erosion will also increase. Okay, soil erosion will also increase. Now what are the other factors? The fertility of the soil will decrease, that I have told earlier. Now many animals lose their habitat or their house. Okay, and the last one is as the animal lose their habitat, they come to cities and try to kill the domestic animals. That means sorry students, for there is some problems. Domestic animals means cat, dog, cow, or and another all goat, sheep, etc. They will try to kill them for their food, because as they have lose their habitat, they are not getting the food in their home. Okay, now the remedies, what to do to protect, what to do the pro to protect the forest. The research should be carried out, the research should be taken out in the option of wood. That means we are using the wood in the for the making the furnitures, for making the furniture items like bed, table, chair. So something else in option of the wood is taken out, so we can use that thing in compared to wood. Now the second point is, by searching the other option, we will get that thing in a compared to the wood. So the use of the wood will decrease, the use of the wood will decrease, and the less number of wood will trees are cut. Third point are, if you are cutting, if you have to cut the tree, for example this is the forest and you have to cut the tree, you have to cut the tree. If you have cutted the tree, then you have to make the same species of the tree on the other side. For example, let me talk. For example, this is the mass land area, this is the forest, and if any company want to cut this, so they will cut this tree, but they have to plant the same species of the tree in the same amount, in the other side, so by this, what will be happen, the work of the industry will be also done, and no any cutting of the tree will be take place. There is a total ban on the cutting tree, total ban should be taken, strict rules should be there on cutting the tree. Industry which are cutting the tree, they have to think about the future. That means what we will do in future if we have not a tree, so they have to grow the species, large amount of tree on the other side of the land. Now the other point is, on the name of ecotourism, they don't have to damage the forest or harm the forest, they just have to visit. Many people, what they do on the name of the ecotourism, enter in the forest and harm the forest by polluting the forest by the plastic bottles, plastic bags, and the other waste, and trying to cut the tree for their own resources and their for own needs, and trying to harm the animal also. So that is the main cause. So there is a ban on the name of the ecotourism, they don't have to damage or harm the forest. Now the program should be made that the people should be aware importance of the forest, people should be aware of the importance of the forest. Now the third point, the importance and the problems, the important and the problem about the forest, conservation, that should be added in the school and the college syllabus. By this, the next generation will know what is the need of forest, and what is the problem our government and people are facing to conserve the forest. So they will well aware of it. Now, in place of firewood, we have to find the alternate option. What is the alternate option? The solar energy, wind energy, natural gas, biogas. These are the some important natural and renewable resource, which do not pollute the environment, as well as the use of firewood will be also decreased. For the faster growth of the tree, sorry students. Okay, Students, for the faster growth of the tree, we have to remove the bad tree which are dead or which are not in a use. For example, you have a friend group in which there are 5 friends, and this one is bad one. This friend is very bad. Okay, so by staying with him, the another 4 will also become bad and not become good in the studies. So they have to leave that friend for the future growth. So as they leave that fifth friend for their development and the growth, here also the government should remove that the uh, decomposed tree or unusable tree from the forest for the faster growth of the trees. Now the forest fire should be in the control by the patrolling, and another human activity should be banned. So by which the forest fire should be in control, and the special arrangement and the training should be there for the forest department. Now the pollution which are made by the visitors should be cleaned every day and every month, by which the forest will be clean. They are not polluted. So here is our part 1 ended. In part 2 we will continue our chapter from the wildlife diversity. Okay, from the wildlife diversity, and we will try to complete our chapter in part 2 only. This is the part 1. I hope that you have liked the part 1. If you like the part 1, then like, share and subscribe. And तब तक के लिए जय हिंद, जय